Right, once we know what we're doing as a topic, we're going to look at the next step. So this is where we're going to start to make a project plan. Now, in the basic plan of a project, we need to think about what we're going to need. So we need to think about what resources we're going to need. So that's like informational things that we're going to need. So for this project, I know of a book that I'm going to use, which is a book called Breath by James Nestor. And I'm also going to use some YouTube accounts where I'm going to look at other people's breathwork journeys. So those are going to be my main resources, and the equipment. So I'm going to need to do this. I'm going to need some microphones to record audio. I'm going to need a computer, and I wrote Final Cut Pro, which is a editing piece of software. Probably also going to need maybe a yoga mat. I didn't put that on there. Yeah, some cushions, some other things that would make doing breathwork more comfortable. All right, so we're going to look at who. We need to know who's involved. So I need to think about who is going to support the project. Now, for me, I'm going to, if I have problems with the breathing part, I know that I have a friend, Thomas, who's very good with this, and he can help me to understand the processes better. So I'm just going to put him down as a support person that can help me with the breathing aspect of this project. And because I'm doing a video, there's obviously some technical skills involved. So I've put another friend down here. His name's Phil, who he can help me with the technical things if I get into trouble. So it's good just to think of those people ahead of time, so that, because you don't want to run into a problem and then just go, oh, I don't know how I'm going to solve that. I don't know who can help me. And then, because people tend to give up sometimes. So if you can think ahead of time, who's around you that can help you, and just have them sort of written down in your plan, that can help. Right, what are we going to look at next? We need to look at team. So for this particular project, I'm going to do this just me. It's by myself. So there's no other team members as such, but there might be a project that has a bunch of team members. And if that's the case, then you'd list those people there, and also, other support people that can help you. Right. Also in the basic plan, we want to have a think about why we're doing this project. Why? That's very important, because that's really related a lot to our motivation. If we don't know why we're doing a project, we're probably not going to be super motivated for it. So it's good to have a think about why you're doing it ahead of time, and that can help to motivate you. So I'm going to think about the purpose of the project. I'm going to think about the purpose of this project for me is going to be because I want to improve health and concentration in the people that I work with. So I'm going to make a video that's going to hopefully address that. It's going to be breath work that's going to help improve health and concentration. And that to me is important, which brings us to the next point, which is relevance. So relevance means, because I'm lecturing at TAFE, it's probably helpful for me to be able to have some resources that I can direct students to that are having difficulties with, various different things. So for me, this is relevant. So that's a tick for that. And value. So why is it a value? I think this is a value because it's going to help students or help the people that I work with. So yeah, we got that there. All right. Then also as part of the basic plan, we need to know when. So what we can do here is we can list down all the parts of the project that I'm going to do. So I've got research, that's an early part, and then I put a time when I think I'm going to get that done. So that might be done in week 2 or 3 of term. And I'm going to make a timeline, which means that's actually a timeline on the computer program. And maybe I'm going to do that in week 4. And then I'm going to add music in week 5. And then I'm going to add breathing audio sounds. I'm going to do that in week 6. And then I'm going to do my final improvements in week 7 and export the project in week 8. Now, if I list all those things like that, that's just going to help me understand the steps that I'm going to need to take, and also allow for the timing so that I don't leave it all to the last minute, and I've got a sort of sequence and an idea of when I need to complete each step, so that when the project's due at the end, I'm not rushing to try and get everything done. I've already thought ahead of time of what I need to do with everything there. Then the last part of the basic plan is where. So I need to think about where I'm going to be doing this. Now for me, it's going to be done at TAFE and at home. So those are my 2 places. So there's my basic plan. So now I've got an idea, and I've got a few ideas about what's around and what I can use to help me get this done.